right, today we're going to be making oatmeal cream pies, and the cookie base is pretty much like yesterday's, but we're going to go through it. So we're going to start with a cup of unsalted butter. So that's 2 sticks. And I'm going to put that in the bowl I'm going to be using my mixer in.
Something.
No, it's down in there somewhere. All right. The first thing you want to do is after you put the butter in, you want to mix that butter around real good and get it nice and creamy. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Find it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and push the butter out of my beaters. Make sure I have the majority of it down in my bowl. All right, there we go. All right, and to this, we're gonna add the brown sugar. And remember, we need 3/4 of a cup, and it needs to be packed. So just like we did it yesterday, where we packed it like sand, you want to pack it like sand. So you get your brown sugar, pack it in there like sand. You need 3/4 of a cup.
What?
3/4 of a cup of brown sugar.
Good morning, Miss Blackmon.
Hello, Maria. How are you? Okay, all we've done so far is we've taken our butter, 2 sticks of butter, and we put it in the bowl for mixing. And now we're adding our brown sugar.
Miss Blackmon?
Yes,
Just this one?
2. 2 sticks of butter. All right, then when I pour out my brown sugar, again, it's gonna look like the sand castle because it pours out. Then we're gonna add a 1/2 cup of regular sugar. half a cup of white sugar. Yes, you add both sugars to the butter.
Okay. Half a cup of which one?
A half a cup of the white sugar and 3/4 of a cup of the brown sugar.
Okay, and we're not starting mixing later, right? We will start mixing later.
We're gonna mix it here in just a minute.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
All right, once you have both sugars and your butter in there, go ahead and start mixing it up. I need a 2.5 sticks. No, I need 1.5 sticks. And I need to go to the store because I think my cake takes on salt. All right, when you get it all mixed, it's gonna look like the brown paste we had yesterday. You really don't want to taste it right now because it's just butter and sugar. I'm just pushing as much out of my egg beaters as I can to make sure I have as much in my bowl as possible. All right, now I'm just gonna push it down off the sides of my bowl to make sure that I've got all my sugar mixed in. You really want to check the bottom and make sure you've got it all off the bottom. Okay, mine looks good and mixed. How's y'all's? Okay? We're ready to go on? All right. All right, so in another bowl. So I'm just gonna push this over to the side for now. In another bowl. Another mixing bowl. Okay? Actually, let's add our eggs and vanilla real quick. We're gonna go to the bowl that you just mixed with your sugar. You're gonna add 2 eggs.
Excuse me, where do we have to put the eggs?
You're gonna put the eggs in with the sugar and butter. All right, so I'm gonna put 2 eggs in there. And then I'm gonna wash my hands because I've been dealing with a raw egg. Gonna use a little hand sanitizer here. All right, and then we need a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So you need this, and then you need the small teaspoon. The one that looks like this, the smaller one. And you're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Miss Blackman?
Yes,
This one?
yes. All right, once you have your eggs and vanilla in there, you wanna go ahead and mix it up. All right, once you got it all mixed up, go ahead and push it to the side, and then we'll go ahead and start our other bowl. And we're gonna start with the flour. You need 1.5 cups of flour. So here's my cup. So I'm gonna get a full cup. And then my half.
Excuse me?
Yes. You're putting the flour in a separate bowl. Once you've got your flour in, then you want a teaspoon of baking soda. So that same teaspoon you used, you're gonna get a teaspoon of baking soda. Make sure it doesn't have a lot of clumps in it, because you don't want a lot of clumps in your stuff.
This teaspoon, Miss Blackman?
Yeah, the same one you used for your vanilla. And I'm also doing a teaspoon of cinnamon.
Miss Blackman, I want cinnamon.
Okay. And I need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So I'm just gonna fill my teaspoon here up with about 1/2, and I'm gonna sprinkle it in there. And I'm just gonna take my spoon like I did yesterday and just stir that mixture around. Get the cinnamon, get the sugars all, get the flour all stirred up with the salt, the baking soda.
Miss Blackman, I have 2.5 teaspoons of vanilla for myself.
One's a tablespoon, one's a teaspoon. The smaller one's the teaspoon.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Uh-huh. And I'm just checking to make sure I got everything stirred in. So our dry ingredients are all stirred together.
How much is the cinnamon?
Cinnamon, 1 teaspoon. All right, now we're gonna slowly start adding our flour mixture to our other batter, just like we did yesterday. We're gonna slowly start adding it while we're beating it. Okay, once you get it all beaten in, make sure you go ahead and turn your oven on at 350 so it'll start getting warm. All right, now your batter looks identical to what it looked like yesterday, because it's the same type of cookie, except this one doesn't have chocolate chips in it. It has another ingredient that we're getting ready to add. So make sure you've got it all together. Make sure you've scraped the sides of your bowl so you get most of it in your bowl, because you don't want a whole lot sticking to the beaters or the whisk or whatever you're using. You want as much of it as you can get into that bowl. And then I'm going to make sure there's nothing on the bottom that needs mixed in. It's looking pretty good. All right. Now, the next ingredient that we're going to add is 3 cups of oats. 3 cups of oats. Oats are just oatmeal is basically what it is. And you're going to need 3 cups of it. So, I'm going to get 3 cups out of here. One. 2. And 3. Now, once you have your 3 cups of oats, then you're going to mix it up again. It's going to be harder to mix because it has the oatmeal in it, but you're going to mix it again. Make sure your oatmeal gets all the way into the batter.
This white water thing because I don't like it.
That's fine. That's the same thing. Just use 3 cups of it.
Like I have to use it or no?
Yes, you can use it.
Like I don't like it.
You don't like it? The only thing is it'll kind of taste like the cookie from yesterday. Without it. So if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. But the cream in the middle will make it the cream pie. So you could have a cream pie without the oatmeal.
Okay, so like I don't have to use it?
No, if you don't like it, you don't have to.
Okay.
Okay. Once I get my oatmeal mixed in, I'm going to go ahead and push as much batter as I can off of the egg beaters or the whisk or whatever you're using. Because you want as much of this as you can get, because this is your cookie part. All right. Now I'm just going to take my bowl and I'm going to push it all down to the middle so that I can have easy access to it so I can put my cookies together. Okay.
Miss Blackman?
Yes.
I am done mixing everything. What do I have to do?
Do what?
I am done mixing everything.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a cookie sheet and our spray, our cooking spray, and we're going to spray our cookie sheet really good on the bottom.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Now, when we're making these, you need to think about they need a top and a bottom cookie. So you need to make sure you're always using even numbers, okay, when you're making them. So you don't want to make 11 cookies because then you'll have one that has a bottom but not a top. So I'm going to put 12 cookies on the pan like I did yesterday. I'm just putting them on my spoon. Then I'll take and make a ball out of them and put them on my cookie tray or my cookie sheet. So, spoonful, make a ball. Try to make them all about the same size if you can. That'll help. You make your ball and put it on your pan. And you should be able to go 3 across and 4 down, which makes 12. Because 3 times 4 is 12. You can roll them with your hands if you want. But you don't have to. This is going to make about 2 pans, which once you put them together as the sandwich, it's going to be about a dozen sandwiches. And a dozen is 12. All right, so once you have your cookie pan ready, you're going to go ahead and put it in the oven.
Give me how much time?
It'll only need to cook for about 12 minutes. 12 minutes. All right, while those are cooking, we're going to stir up our cream for the middle. All right, so I'm going to take my cookie dough and I'm just going to set it aside because I'm going to need it to finish making cookies. And now I'm going to take another bowl, another mixing bowl. I'm going to go ahead and clean off my whisk and my egg beaters or whatever you're using. Go ahead and clean them off. Because I promise you don't want cookie dough in the middle of your icing. once my whisk or my egg beaters or your paddle, whatever you're using, is clean, I'm gonna dry it off. And we're gonna start the inside of our cookie, okay? So you're gonna need 1.5 sticks of butter. So 1 stick and then half of another stick. Half of another stick is, if you look on the stick, it has teaspoons marked. You need 4 of those. It's half a stick.
Thanks, tablespoons.
So when you're looking at it, look at the side where it says the TBS tablespoons, and you're looking for 4 of those. That's half of a stick.
One or one or
1.5.
1.5.
1.5.
Or
1.5 sticks of butter.
unsalted,
Do what?
unsalted butter.
It can be unsalted or salted. It doesn't matter. You just need 1.5 sticks.
Yep.
All right. What?
You want the butter?
You're gonna put it in another bowl, in a brand new bowl, because we're getting ready to make the icing. All right. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cream my butter. So what that means is I'm gonna beat it with a whisk or your egg beater or your stand-up mixer, whatever you have. You're gonna make it real creamy. All right.
Después va a hacer
All right. Once it's creamy, go ahead and get as much butter as you can off your egg beaters or your whisk. And then you want to go around the sides of your bowl and put all the butter back in the middle. All right. So I'm just making sure I got enough butter out of here, that I've got enough on the bottom of my bowl. All right, so what I'm gonna do is go around the edge of my bowl and put the butter back into the middle.
Excuse me, do we have to put something in the butter?
Yes, we are. Just a minute. Let me get the butter ready. All right. All right, so once your butter is creamed, then we're gonna put powdered sugar. Some people call it confectionate sugar, okay? It's the white sugar. You're gonna put 2.5 cups. So I'm gonna get my cup, and I want 2.5 cups. there's one.
I have just 1.5 cups.
You have what?
I have 1.5 cups, but like I 2.5.
Okay, you don't have enough sugar, is that what you're saying?
No, I just have 1.5 of the cup.
Okay, so you have a 1 cup and a half a cup?
Yeah, I just
So
have
use the cup twice and the half a cup once to make 2.5.
How many of those sugar?
Powdered sugar is 2.5 cups. All right. Then I want to add a teaspoon. So that's back to our little spoon. We want to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So the vanilla again, we want a teaspoon. Pour that in it. And then you need your tablespoon again. And you can either do a tablespoon of half and half or a tablespoon of milk. I use milk. So I'm going to do a tablespoon, that's the big one, full of milk. And I'm going to add that to it.
Miss Blackmon, 1.5?
Just a minute. One and a half what, Maria? The milk is the big spoon, just one.
We have to mix.
Now you're going to mix this all together, okay? So now you're going to use your whisk or your hand mixer and you're going to start mixing it all together. And you want to mix it till it's creamy. Okay, is it creamy creamy? Like an icing? Mix it till it looks like an icing. Make sure you're getting it all off the bowl, around the sides, in the middle, all off. And you're gonna mix it until it's very creamy. Alright, your icing should be so that you can pick it up like you're going to ice a cake and you can put it on, okay? So that's what it should be like. And yes, you can taste it, it's fine. It's not going to hurt you to taste a little bit of your icing to make sure it tastes good. Again, I'm cleaning out my beaters, getting as much as I can out of them.
Cookies have 2 seconds.
All right, you might want to check on your cookies. They might be getting close to done. You know they're done if they're a light brown color.
Miss Blackmon, mine's like they go.
This is what your cookies should look like when you get them out of the oven.
Like this.
Yeah, that's fine. And we're gonna let them sit and cool for a few seconds here while we finish cleaning off our egg beaters or our whisk or whatever, because we want as much icing as we can get.
How many minutes do we have to go in the microwave?
How many what?
Oven. How many times do we have to go in the oven?
The cookies have to cook for about 12 minutes.
Thank you.
Again, I'm just cleaning off my egg beaters, making sure that I've got as much as I can off of them so I have them for my cookies. Now, one thing about these cookies is you don't want to ice them right away. You want them to cool, otherwise your icing will run.
Miss Blackmon, do the like this, or you have to like put it on the oven?
Like this? Yeah,
Yeah, you have to put it in the oven.
we're going to put it on the cookies here in just a few minutes.
Miss Blackmon, I have a quick question. When we put it on the after and then put it in the oven, you put it
When you put it in the oven, what, baby?
when the cookies like when we put them in the cookies, we have to put back the oven with the cream.
No. When we put the cream in them, we will not put them back in the oven.
So the cookies that I have to cook.
The cookies cook. When they're done, let's let them cool a little bit. So what I've done is I've taken mine off my pan. I'm gonna go ahead and use some more cookie dough and go ahead and get some more ready. And by the time I do that, they'll probably be cool enough for me to ice.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take my cookie dough over here to my pan and put some more on it. Make sure you're spraying it just like we did yesterday. Spray it between each set of cookies. That looks good. Looks good. Looks real good. So now you're just gonna put it in little balls on your cookie sheet. So I'm getting the rest of mine on here. Remember to make an even amount because you need a top, a lid, and a bottom to your cookie to make it a oatmeal cream pie. We're not using that yet. Right now, just take your cookies out of the oven and set them so that they start cooling. And I'm putting more cookies in the oven. And once my cookies are cooled here in just a minute, I'll show you how to use that icing, okay? All right. And again, I'm putting 3 across, 4 down. Now I've got the next batch of cookies in my oven. So now we're going to icing the ones that we took out. All right. These should be cool enough that you can handle them. Okay? You've got the top, that's the raised up area, and then you've got the flat bottom. Okay, you're gonna take the flat side and you're gonna take some of your icing from your bowl and you're just gonna put it on there. Some people like it thick, some don't. My family likes to have it pretty thick on their cookies. So I put it on thick, so like that. And then you're gonna get another cookie about the same size and you're gonna make a sandwich out of it. How are we doing? Everybody got a sandwich made? Okay, everybody get a sandwich in your hand. Get one in your hand.
Mine's is still in the oven.
Yours is still in the oven. All right, you can do it here in a minute. All right, take a big bite of it and tell me how it is. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Mmm. I'm seeing some thumbs up.
Is Blackmon, do we have to do another pan for the cookies?
Yes. How many of you like these cookies? Hold it. All right. So I'm going to continue with my cookies. Just putting the icing in the middle. And then I'm going to find the best cookie over there for the top. Put it together. And I'm going to lay it on wax paper. And then I'll get another cookie. And I just do that over and over until all my cookies have the icing inside. you should have, not counting the one you ate, if you made 12 cookies, you should have 6 pies, 6 of the oatmeal pies. And I'm just putting them together and I'm going to let them sit on the wax paper and cool some more. Now with these cookies, you definitely need to make sure that you put them in an airtight Tupperware container. All right, that's something that you can put a lid on it. All right, looks good. Now put some icing in the middle and then put another one on top of it. So you definitely want to store these in a container that you can put a lid on, because otherwise the icing will go bad. All right. So make sure the container you put them in, something like this. I put mine in a casserole dish, and I've got a lid for this dish that'll stay airtight. You have one together yet, Maria?
No, I'm waiting till I get more cold like that.
Yeah, because you just took them out of the oven. All right. For those of you that have tested them already, thumbs up. Good? Awesome. Awesome. I see some of you passing them around to family members, making sure everybody likes them.
Miss Blackmon, I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I don't know how you do like the cookies stay by circle, because like mine's spread all over when it gets to the oven.
Yeah. What I do is I just make them into balls, and then I put the ball in. And they still spread all over, but not quite as bad.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right. If I don't have any questions, that's how to make oatmeal cream pies. All right, guys, tomorrow we will be making a cake from scratch and the icings from scratch and decorating it with whatever you have to decorate. You don't have to go buy anything special. All right? All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.